Old Yavapai Pete was a cowpuncher neat from Arizona's fair clime. He lived in his saddle and he punched most cattle from here to the Mexican line. His riding was sassy and his roping was classy. He liked to mix, mingle, and maul. Not much of a thinker, but more of a drinker, could uphold his end in a brawl. With a face like a hatchet and a head made to match it and a nose like a pelican's beak. His legs were all bowed and he was pigeon-toed, with a chin which was plumb mild and meek. He'd been in the weather, his skin was like leather, his hands were all horny and rough. You could tell by his stride he was just built to ride, and old bronc for him was too tough. Well, he once told a tale of hitting the trail, of hunting new ranges to ride. They'd hung up a bounty in Yavapai County for whoever could bring in his hide. Well, he rode to a ranch and he asked if by chance if they needed a good buckaroo. They said he was rough but not tough enough, as a bronc peeler he wouldn't do. So he rode over a rise and batting his eyes, he looked down into a swale. He'd come to the lair of a she-grizzly bear, and she was holding the trail. Well, he took a long strand of barbed wire in hand, and crawling along on the ground, he made a big scoop with that barbed wire loop, and they both went around and around. Then he mounted that bear with a handful of hair, for a quirt used a live rattlesnake. He rode with a rush out through the buckbrush, swearing that beast he would break. To the ranch he did go, where Pete hollered whoa, and he asked the boss what he'd pay. My mount is docile, for I've rid her a mile, we're hunting a job today. Well, the boss called his stack, said come to the shack, you look like you might be alright. That growling old bear you're riding right there, she ate up our foreman last night. Now Yavapai Pete, he couldn't be beat at riding and shooting and sin. And the chuck wagon deck was one hell of a wreck when Yavapai Pete busted in. He fanned his gun fast, but they got him at last. He died with his boots on his feet, and the Wild West was rid of a dangerous kid with the passing of Yavapai Pete.